Thanksgiving. Most of us think it's about being thankful for what we have. Turkey dinners, visiting relatives, pumpkin pie. And then the folks around us who don't have any pie, they feel like they don't have any reason to celebrate. True Thanksgiving has nothing to do with provision for the present and everything to do with hope for the future. See, it's all about perspective. Give, hope, rejoice is the theme song of True Thanksgiving. And what do those three little words have in common? They're all born out of faith. Take the Pilgrims, for example. If you were there back in 1621, how would you have acted when the first harvest came in? Remember, the memory of that first winter is still fresh in your mind, how your family suffered with barely enough to eat. And you know that any day now, winter is going to begin again. So what do? Well, you say a prayer to thank God for the food you have today. You pray that it will be enough to last. And then Cousin Ezra pipes up. "Quick, Virgil, stuff them pumpkins in the barn. We'll grab a pitchfork and take turns standing guard." You know, there is a Cousin Ezra in every crowd. But now, what do? I mean, even if you were thinking about sharing before, now you're like, maybe Ezra has a point. He's just being realistic. And suddenly, the glass looks half empty and the winter looks really long. So you see, provision for the present isn't enough without hope for the future. You can't really be thankful without a little something called faith. The Pilgrims took one look at all God had done for them. Faith filled their hearts, and the memory of that first winter faded away. They ignored their Cousin Ezra, threw open the barn doors, invited the neighbors, and sat down to a feast. Now, in light of all they've been through, that mindset, give, hope, rejoice, seems almost alien, doesn't it? Well, it is alien. It's born of a different world, a heavenly world. It's born of faith. You see, the Pilgrims didn't look at the harvest and think, our hard work paid off. We did it. We survived by our strength and cunning. That kind of thinking doesn't have any room for give, hope, rejoice, or thanksgiving. There's just no faith in it. No faith, no hope. No hope, no thanks. The Pilgrims knew they hadn't survived by their own strength. They knew what God had done for them. He had brought them through. He had provided, was providing, would provide. They didn't have to hoard the pumpkins in the barn because there were more where that came from. Not from the soil or the Wampanoag tribe, from God. They didn't wallow in the pain of the sickness and the hunger, the dangers of the new world, what they had lost. They were grateful God had brought them through, yes, but they were more focused on where He was bringing them to. So when Cousin Ezra piped up, nobody listened. They said, yes, it's been rough, but that was yesterday. Let's talk about tomorrow, that yet unwritten, amazingly mysterious, beautiful, promised tomorrow, where we see our hopes and dreams blossoming to life under the tender hand of our loving God. I've got a feeling that's what the Pilgrims talked about that first Thanksgiving. They were looking forward. Not at where they had been, but where they were going. How glorious this new land would be, washed in the light of freedom and the truth of the gospel. How their children and their children's children would grow up free. Free to serve their Lord with all their hearts, to pray in the middle of a cornfield or sing from the top of a mountain. To give hope, rejoice, to be thankful. This Thanksgiving, let's look forward to the breathtakingly epic future that awaits us in Christ, in this world, and in that new world which is to come. Let's not focus on ourselves, but on our God. Not where we are today, but where He is leading us. Not on having, but on giving. Thanksgiving.